Okay, so we're wetting the paper in just the sky portion at the moment. No puddles, not soaking wet, just glistening. If you've got too much water ever, kitchen towel, place the kitchen towel on the sky and mop it up. And that's all there's to it. So it's not the end of the world if you've got too much on. I need extra down by that there. Okay. So we're going to do the same sky. A little bit of raw sienna in a line across. And then we're going to go for a little bit of blue. You should still have some blue made up. And a little bit of blue in there. And that's your sky. We're not gone for too much. I'm just going to darken that slightly at the top. I've got a little line of blue there, just to give it a bit of difference. Change and brush. I'm now going to do this. Oops, get off. This bit here. It's just a very simple headland, and we're going with the blue again. And a little bit of Payne's grey, not too wet, otherwise it'll go, you'll have the biggest headland going. So I'm going to start off this side, and I'm going to go to about just over the middle of the page. And you see that the paint is bleeding. I want some of it to be a little bit taller, because I think it's a wooded headland. And I'll put some dark patches in at the bottom. You can do that if your paper's not too wet and you've got a nice thicker mix. Now I can see that it's spread enough. So I'm going to dry. Funny, I've not got mine on a slant, but it went sideways. Weird. I'm going to get a thicker mix still of the Payne's grey, and just with a small brush, just do a zigzaggy line. That's all we're going to do on that one. So it's a dark zigzaggy line. We're too late for bushes, so never mind. Now I'm going to wet what is the sea and the sand, or what will be, and then I'll wait and probably re-wet. Yeah, do a bit of the water. So again, we're going to have some of that raw sienna, not too thick. And the raw sienna goes in a semicircle because that's where the sand is. So I'm just coming round the bottom, making a curve at the bottom. And I've just put a line there. I'm going to get a little bit of burnt sienna and just darken those corners up. Not a lot, it's only a touch. You've got sand. We need the sea now. So back into that mix, as long as it's not too dark. Pull it along the horizon. And then in stripes. And come over the sand a bit, because it's coming in. The waves are coming in. If it's going too light, which mine is, you can put a little bit of darker, and you can have some dark lines in there, and that will give you the feeling of waves. Bend them upwards and downwards alternately, and you get the feeling of waves coming in. And a little bit more of burnt sienna on a rigger, and just that's dried. Just put some burnt sienna down the bottom there. And I put some, there was a white space in between these two dark lines, or very light, so I've just put a little bit of burnt sienna in there to look as if it's the sand as well. Now I've got a little bit of, I've mixed some of burnt sienna into that ultramarine and just making shapes on the sand, just push and brush around. And just, there's a line there that's a little bit hard. So I'm just softening that up with a damp brush. And using a little bit of the Payne's Grey, very carefully, a couple of birds. 3 birds. If you want to do some tree trunks like we did before, go for it. Not doing that many. Just do a few as you work along. If you're going to do it, you don't have to. Or you can get that Posca pen going. Yeah. And that's it.